All right, guys, welcome. So this training is going to be around how to sell the actual SaaS, how to conduct a one-to-one demo. So I'm actually going to take you through the exact pitch deck that me and my team put together when we were doing one-to-ones on selling the Go High Level SaaS. So use this training. Don't copy things exactly. Obviously, there'll be some things in here that you guys can't necessarily use, but kind of follow me along through this training to understand the frameworks of how to position your SaaS offer, and taking a cold prospect from not knowing anything about you to purchasing at the end of the call. This exact pitch deck, we typically saw a 25 to 30% one call close, meaning nobody knew anything about us. They showed up to a demo with the sales team took them through this pitch deck, and basically we had a 25 to 30% one call closed, money collected on that call. And then, some follow-ups after that for people that didn't close. So it's a pretty good framework. Obviously, it's not the only one you can use or, you have to use. I'm just, kind of showing you guys what we've used, what's worked for us, so you guys can kind of have a little bit of a head start with your, journey here. Like I said, we've tested a lot of different things, and this is what we kind of found worked best for us. All right, so I'm going to start the slideshow. We're going to go through each slide one by one. So you guys can kind of, like I said, follow along, kind of understand the frameworks here. And then from that, we will give you a copy in the additional resources section of the group, where you can, kind of take this and then, plug and play with your own branding, your company name, etc. All right, so we'll jump right in. All right, so this specific slide here, obviously you're gonna have your logo here. So we didn't have anything here. We just had a logo. I deleted the logo. So your next slide is going to be, you have your prospect. Obviously, you're gonna start in this slide. Hey, how you doing? Introduce yourself. Introduce the company. Ask them where they're from. Build a little bit of rapport. Nothing long. Don't go crazy with it. 2, 3 minutes max rapport. Find out where they're at, making sure that they're in the industry that you're able to serve. And then you're kind of, jumping right in. So people don't like to, have their time wasted. They understand that they're on a sales call. They don't really want to be sold. So, you kind of filling the time with some fluff, they can pick up on it and it'll actually, drop your conversion. So, just this slide, 2, 3 minutes rapport, and then you're going to jump right in. So you're going to ask them, basically this questionnaire is going to be what your SaaS does. So ours was, you want to generate consistent leads at cost without having to hire a marketing agency, right? So you're getting right off, from the beginning, you're getting what we like to call a yes set, right? So as we go through this pitch deck, there's multiple questions in here specifically designed to have the prospect answer yes. Okay. The more yeses you get, the easier it is to get a yes, your final, most important yes at the end of the call with, are they going to be moving forward? Are they going to be purchasing? Are they going to be giving you, money? Right. So this question right here, obviously, everybody wants to generate their own leads, especially at wholesale cost. Nobody wants to have to hire a marketing agency because they're very expensive. So it's a pretty easy yes to get right from the beginning of the call to position yourself up, for further yeses throughout the rest of the call. All right. So you're going to make, give them a promise, right? What's my promise to you today? Obviously, they're sitting here listening to you blab on, right? On why they should purchase from you. So, make it worth their while, right? Why should they sit through this 30-minute call? Why should they sit through this 45-minute call? Why should they sit through this, 1 hour presentation with you? So make them a promise. Obviously, don't make a guarantee, okay? I see this time and time again, marketing agencies, different service providers making these outrageous guarantees. One thing I will tell you is these guarantees will come back and bite you in the ass. Excuse my language, but I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. They will come back and they will hurt your business. So don't make any sort of financial guarantees. Just make a promise. Hey, what's the promise, I'm going to make to you by the time we get at the end of this call? So, um, this was our promise, right? Our goal is to empower them, educate them, kind of teach them how the industry works. So this you can kind of, plug and play your own stuff here. Like I said, don't use this exact word for word. A lot of these things may not be applicable to you, not necessarily things you can go out and start selling on. We were in the industry for a while, so we had a lot of different assets already in play here. But kind of understand the gist what's being read here, and then throw in your own little tweaks. So first off, starting, uh, why should they listen to you, right? So if you have case studies, this is where you would put those case studies. We as a company, we became certified Meta business partners, which was pretty big in our industry. Basically, Facebook recognized us for spending a lot of money. Obviously, you see here we spent a lot of money just ourselves as a company, but also managing ad spend for our clients. That's not what's included here. So for us, this is, what was applicable. Obviously, if you're new to the industry, you're not probably going to be a certified Meta business partner. You're not going to have experience running this type of ad spend. So, initially, if you're just getting started, have a case study, right? Work with somebody for free. Don't charge them. Just kind of get your case studies, get your numbers, right? So this is kind of what you're going to put here is some sort of a case study, some sort of a why should you listen to us? This is your time to basically flex, right? Time to tell people why they should listen to you. All right. So again, this is another slide. The amount of, clicks we've had, the amount of leads we've been able to produce for a variety of different industries. So we showed the metrics. Um, the next slide here is basically again some more testimonials, not testimonials, some more case studies. So this was like one of my, sales guys' calendar when we were in the agency space. So obviously he had appointments back to back to back to back all day long, which was, pretty expensive to do, right? So we just use that kind of again to show them, hey, we know what, appointment setting is. We understand how to do it. We do it ourselves. So that was, kind of what we also threw in there for why they should listen to us. So once you get to this kind of portion of the call, this is where you're going to start having the prospect talk, right? So we have this little quadrant here, and kind of how we would position this specific slide is, hey, right, John, right? Let's say the prospect name, John. Hey, John, I'm glad you're here. I just want to kind of get a better understanding of where your business is at. So we have four different quadrants here. We have the startup phase, right? You're just getting licensed, you're just getting into the industry. We've had, we talked to different prospects that are, have plateaued in their business, so they've grown, but they've kind of been stuck in the same position, stuck at the same amount of sales every month. We have the up and downer, right? You guys have good months, you have bad months, good months, bad months. It's always this up and down roller coaster of sales, or you're just a seasoned veteran looking to scale. Okay. So the point of these four quadrants is you want your prospect to basically pinpoint where they're at, right? They're going to tell you, oh, I'm just getting started in the industry. Oh, yeah, no, I've been in the industry for a little while, but, we've kind of plateaued. Oh, yeah, I have good months, I have bad months, I have good months. Actually, you know what? No, we are a growing company. We have been in the industry for a while. We're scaling. We're just looking for our next best partner, right? So have your prospect kind of tell you exactly where you're at, where they're at. So you kind of understand as you're going through the call exactly what's going to resonate with them, right? Because different pieces of a call are going to resonate with different types of prospects, right? Not everybody's going to resonate to the same things that you're telling them. So it's important to know where your prospect is in terms of their career so that you can kind of address, you should know your niche very well, right? You should know your industry very well. So as they tell you where they're at, you can kind of identify, okay, usually with startups, these are the problems. Usually with companies that have plateaued, these are the problems. Usually with companies that are up and down, these are the problems. Usually with veterans in the industry that are looking to scale, these are also typically problems, right? Okay, next slide is again, you're going to ask them a couple more questions. So number one is, on average, how many deals are they doing, right? And I'm going to explain to you why these questions are important to have answers to. Number two is what's your ideal outcome of a marketing software? Number three, how long have you been looking for a solution for? Number four, what's been your biggest hurdle? Okay, basic questions. You're asking the question, you're asking every single one of these questions in this order, and you're taking notes on what their answers are. Okay, or you're just keeping it in the back of your head. So once you get these through these four questions, let's say, for example, question number one, on average, how many deals are you doing? Right? We're doing 10 deals a month. Okay. And what I would personally do with this type of a scenario, what I'm gonna tell you is what we're trying to do here is calculate the opportunity cost. Okay. The opportunity cost is what does it cost your prospect to not get their problem solved today, right? So let me give you an example. Question number one, on average, how many deals are you doing? Okay, your prospect says he's doing 10 deals a month. He or she says they're doing 10 deals a month. Okay. How many deals can you handle per month? What's your capacity? Oh, we could probably handle 20 deals a month. Okay, great, right? So they're doing 10, they can handle 20. Now, question number three, how long has this been a problem for you, right? How long you been looking for a solution? Obviously, if they're looking for a solution, it's been a problem. So how long have you been looking for a solution? Oh, we've been looking for a solution for 6 months. Okay, cool. I don't have this here, but one thing that I would also ask in addition to this, so that you can calculate an actual monetary value to their problem, is on average, and again, we don't ask this here because we know on average, we've always worked with two or three of the same main niches. We knew on average how much they would make per deal. We knew on average how many deals they were doing, what their commissions were, yada yada. If you don't know that, then you're gonna want to ask that as a question here. So you add it as question number five, right? On average, how much do you make net per deal, right? Or gross, either one. Oh, we make $5,000 per closed deal per completed job per whatever, right? So they make $5,000, you know that number, okay? So now I would take a prospect through each of these questions, okay? They give me the answers. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the opportunity cost. So he told me he can handle 10 deals a month, or he can handle 20 deals a month. He's currently doing 10. This has been a problem for 6 months for him, right? 6 months has been a problem, told me. And on average, he makes $5,000 per deal. Okay. So now he's short 10 deals, right? So we're going to take 10. He makes on average $5,000 per deal, right? So we're going to go 10 times 5,000. That gives us 50,000. And this has been a problem for 6 months. Now we're going to take that 50,000 and multiply that by six. That gives us 300,000. So what I would say after I take them through these questions, geez, so Mr. John, sounds like you got a $300,000 problem on your hands here. Is that accurate? What are you talking about? Well, you told me you make $5,000 per deal. This has been a problem for 6 months. You're able to do 20 deals a month, but you're only doing 10. This is costing you $300,000 right now at this point. Are you able to afford continuing? Oh, right. So now what's going to happen as soon as you put a monetary value to their actual problem, they're listening. They're not just going through a demo with you anymore. They're like, oh shit, I have a big problem here. I didn't realize this. I didn't think about it like that. I need to get this solved. Right. So you just identified for them. They have a massive problem. It's costing them a ton of money. Right. And I'm using this as all as an example. So obviously, these may not always be the numbers. Prospects may not always want to disclose numbers to you because they know that you're trying to sell them. Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to be closed. So again, you're going to take this with a grain of salt, but that's the point of this is you always want to try to calculate an opportunity cost of what it's costing them by not getting this problem resolved. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about well, this is where you're going to talk about, okay, thanks for all that information. Great. So these are the three problems that we've identified with, and again, our example here is loan officers in the mortgage industry, right? So you're gonna kind of connect with them a little more. So you're gonna talk to them about you know the problems they have. You know, right? You know the things that they're dealing with. So, maybe it's inconsistent lead flow, maybe it's high retainer agencies, right? These are the three problems that are pretty much true across your specific niche's industry that most of your prospects are going to be able to resonate with, right? And obviously make them, make sure it's legit. Don't just put random things here that you don't have any idea about. Make sure it's, things that you understand and it's actual problems in your niche's industry. You're gonna tell them, you're gonna go through these, do any of these resonate with you? Yeah, lead quality has always been a problem with us. Yeah, we're always working with these high retainer agencies and they suck. Or oh yeah, we have good months, right? We have good leads coming in, a bunch of leads coming in. Then we have a couple months where we have no leads coming in. We don't know why it's this, right? That's up and down, right? So have them resonate. Which one resonates with you the most? Okay, lead quality. Great. Now you're going to go problem, right? So you just resonate with them, the problems you see, and now you're going to give them an explanation on why those problems are always problems. Okay. So you're going problem, why it's a problem, failure, why it fails. Okay. And you're going to see why we do this. You're going to talk about, so again, in this example, not having consistent lead flow. It doesn't work because of dot, 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 dot. High retainer agencies don't work because of dot, 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 dot. Lead quality is always a problem because of dot, 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 right? So again, you're going to go problem, the slide before, right? These are the problems we typically see in your industry, right? This is what we typically see people in your industry have problems with or have failure with. And this is why those things fail. It's not your fault. It's because it doesn't work, right? So that's how you're going to take them from, problem, why it's a problem, now solution, right? Okay. So you're going to go problem, why it's a problem, and then solution. This is where we as a company had set up our flow. Again, if you're going through all of our trainings from beginning to end, then most of this is probably going to be applicable to you. Again, with a few thing changes here and there, how you set up your system and how you set up your actual SaaS. This is kind of how we went with ours. So, we would take them from the beginning, right? You start up here, leads coming in, goes into their, account. From their account, they have nurture sequences, right? There's a booking page, and then what's the result, right? So we're taking them from point A to point B. You always want to walk your prospect from point A to point B. What's the end? Where do they want to get? They want to get deals. They want to get more, revenue. They want to get more commissions. They want to grow a bigger team. They want to, whatever it is, right? So you take them from point A to point B and then slightly walk them through each step exactly, right? So now your prospect sees they know they're here. They know they want to get there, but how the hell did they get there? Well, you're going to walk them through that. You're going to take them step by step by step, right? Questions, right? Now you're going to ask them what questions you have so far. This is where you're handling objections. Okay. So, oh, yeah, I had a question about this. Okay. Yeah, no problem. What's your question? Okay. Yeah. Right. So ask them, hey, I just went through all this information with you. Do you have any questions? Listen, John, I just told you this. I told you this. You have zero questions for me? Oh, yeah, maybe I have one question, right? So exhaust questions because the more questions you exhaust here, the less objections you have at the end of the call when you're asking for money. You don't want to be dealing with objections at the end of the call before you ask for money. Okay. So exhaust as many questions as possible at this point. Now, system walkthrough. This can go one of two ways. We've done it one of two ways. We've done a system walkthrough where at this point we're closing out of this and showing them a sub account, right? A demo account we had that was strictly used for demos and walk them through a couple features. Usually it was conversations, the ads launcher, and the automations, right? Basic, quick, not spending 30 minutes in there. It was no more than 5 minutes that we were spending in that system walkthrough, or you can cut it out. Me personally, if I was beginning, if I was starting all over again, I would do the system walkthrough to familiarize yourself with kind of, the product, but then maybe something catches your prospect's eye. It's like, oh, do you have this? Oh, yeah, we have this. Again, you're not spending more than 5 minutes in there. Okay. So walk through, have the same three features that you're going to show everybody, the ones that you think your niche would want the most. And you're going to show those quickly, and then you're going to jump back into your pitch deck. So system walkthrough, you're going to show them, and then you're going to jump back in. Some other slides, again, this is again where you're showing some more case studies or metrics. Hey, we showed you in the beginning, we know what we're talking about. I gave you a solution to your very expensive problem. And again, I'm going to show you I know what I'm talking about, right? So that's what this slide is used for. Again, we use ours. You do not have authorization to use any of our slides in your pitch decks. So if you do, we will find out. So do not use any of these, but just again, as a kind of framework for you guys to understand how we're going through this, we're showing some more, case studies, reviews, right? If you guys have good reviews, you show your reviews. If you have, whatever it is, some sort of a listen to me, I know what I'm talking about scenario here. Okay. Now you're going to walk them through a very basic launch plan, right? Again, your launch plan could be very complex. Your prospect doesn't want to know it's complex. Okay. So you're going to walk them through the basics of what going from point A to point B is going to look like. So for us, it was okay, your launch plan is your account is going to get created. You're going to get your campaign launched. From there, you're going to have a live onboarding call with one of our team members. If you're having issues with launching, we'll help you launch on that call. And then from there, to make sure you're utilizing all of these system, and you're having the most highest percentage of success, you're going to meet with our coaches a couple times a week, to go over any problems you're having, just to, catch up on things, whatever, right? So this was our launch plan. Basic, 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 high level overview of each step. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into each of these kind of steps, but you're not going to overwhelm your prospect with, you're going to do this and you're going to do this and you're going to do this and this and this and this. And no, basic, 1, 2, 3. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. Now, you're going to ask them, what was the one thing that you disliked most about this system? So, John, we covered a lot of things. I showed you a lot of things, that the system can do, what our program does, whatever, whatever. What was the one thing that you disliked most? Oh, I didn't like this. Oh, I didn't like that, right? Again, what am I doing here? I'm exhausting objections. You're going to do the same thing. Ask them, what was the one thing that they disliked the most? Address it. If they tell you something, you're going to address it. If they tell you nothing, they're lying, and tell them to come up with something, right? Well, don't tell them to come up with something. But no, it's like, listen, John, you love all of this, right? Every single thing you loved in here. Well, I didn't really like this, right? Or I didn't really like that. Again, all you're trying to do here, exhaust your objections that you're going to have at the end when you show price and try to collect money. Okay. What did you love about this so far? Right? So you're going to go from bad to good, bad to good. What did you love about this so far? Oh, I love the ads launcher. Oh, I love the automations. Oh, I love the website builder. Oh, I love the funnel builder. Okay, awesome, right? It's the last thing that they're remembering. It's the last thing that they loved, right? So you're going bad, ask bad first, and then you're going to good, positive, right? Okay. Now this is where you're showing price. So John, awesome. I'm glad you loved the ads launcher. Listen, we have a solution that's been built just for, people like you, just for, people that have plateaued, people that are just getting started, people that are veterans looking to scale, people that are very up and down, right? Identify them with what they told you initially. We have our growth plan. Our plan is month to month, no contract, cancel anytime. It's $297 a month, one-time onboarding fee. Again, you guys can use this pricing. If you're doing ones, I would use this pricing. This is where your margins are going to probably be the most healthy. Especially like I said initially, if you're going to be doing one-to-one demos. I liked it. It was $297. And we had an onboarding fee that I allowed my sales reps to waive. So let's say you get to the end of the call and they're looking to move forward and it's like right there, but whatever. Okay, John, listen, how about I get that onboarding fee for you waived? It's just going to be $297. We'll get the onboarding fee waived. Does that make sense? Will you move forward? Yes, let's go. Right. So that's why we had the onboarding fee. Primarily, obviously, we needed to collect right? As much cash as possible to pay, sales reps and their commissions and things like that. But it was primarily used as a closer. If for some reason it was like right there and it couldn't get closed, waive the onboarding fee, the $200, and just collect 297. 297 is better than zero. So that's how we saw it. Again, make your own pricing. If you want to go priced higher, go ahead and price higher. But for a SaaS, a niche specific SaaS, I think this is going to be the highest you can realistically collect initially, right? You can always upsell later on, but as far as initial cash collected, this is probably going to be the max amount. If you're going to be using the ads launcher, again, just disclose to them, hey, ad spend's not included. We recommend you start at X and Y, right? Between X and Y. It's not billed to us, right? It gets billed by Meta, or again, however you guys are going to build out your offer. But if you're going to be using ads as your initial offer, which I recommend you do because I like it. I know ads. Again, maybe you don't know it as well, and you don't like that offer. You can kind of have whatever you want, but this is kind of what I would, like I said, price it at. Again, if I was starting from the beginning, and I'm doing one-to-ones, this is how I would go. So you're gonna go price, right? Break it down quickly, and then go into value stack. Okay, so hey, in addition to everything we covered, you also get this, and this is what it's all worth. If you weren't gonna go have it in an all-in-one system, this is probably what it would cost you, getting it one off, piece by piece, Frankenstein plugged together. Don't worry, you don't have to do that, but we just kind of want to show you, break it down for you. Within our system, we also have all of these features that you'll have access to for no additional cost. Typically, if you were to get it one off, it would cost you this, but don't worry about it. It's already in your system, right? Value add. Now, how did I do so far? You're gonna ask them, how did I do? Just find some value in our time together, right? Make sure they're telling you that they found value. They should be finding value. If they're not, then you have a problem. Either you went off track here, or you didn't express things well enough, or didn't identify with or resonate with your prospect well enough, whatever it is. They should always be telling you, like, yeah, like, even if I don't buy anything today, at least I understand how this works and what you guys have, and how it benefits me. Okay, so did you find some value in our time together? Yes. Okay, this is your second yes, right? You had a yes in the beginning, you asked them. Now this is your second yes. Could you picture yourself logging into a system like this? Make them picture it, right? Stop, think. Can I log in and launch my own ads? Can I log in and set up my own automations, or use your automations, whatever. Ask them, could you picture yourself logging into a system like this? Yes. This is now your third yes. Do you like it enough to let me take your first payment and you can start advertising today? Yes. Your fourth yes. And now you're collecting payment. You're processing them to a checkout page, making sure the transaction clears. Obviously, make sure that they're processing the payment, but do it on Zoom with them, right? Okay, awesome. I'm going to send you a Zoom link. I'm going to send you a payment link in the Zoom chat. We'll go through it together. I'll make sure you can get your onboarding call booked, and I'll see you next Tuesday, at 5 p.m. to do the onboarding. All right. Right. So this is, we went through this pretty quick. This whole call should not take you more than an hour. You're doing it one-to-one. Obviously, it's not, you're going to kind of go off track. You're not going to necessarily go smooth exactly like this, but use this pitch deck as a framework. Use it as bounds. Okay. So you have your lower bound, you have your upper bound. Okay. That's what this pitch deck is used for in each of these slides. It makes sure that you don't go too far up here and you don't go too down below over here, right? You're going to stay within the bounds and go through the call over the course of 45 to 60 minutes. You're going to take every prospect through the same process, and you should be able to close. Like I said, we personally, as a company, I'm not going to guarantee this to you. I'm not guaranteeing anything. We as a company, on average, it was about 25 to 30-ish% on a one call close, right? So again, we have 7 years of experience in this industry, so you're not going to necessarily hit it right from the beginning, but keep working at it. The more you kind of perfect this, sales portion of the call, it's going to be easier for you to kind of start closing, regularly, right? Um, so yeah, I think this is pretty much what you guys will need to go through and start kind of understanding how to sell this, what you're selling. If you have questions, throw it in the community. But like I said, this is the exact pitch deck that we've used, that we put together. We used for our own company when we were doing one-to-ones. Exactly the same pricing model. So like I said, don't take it exact. If you guys want to use some of the frameworks here, use the pricing model that we use, of course, use that. But just to be clear again, you guys do not have authorization to be using any of the case study numbers that we have produced as a company. You are not allowed to use those in your pitch deck. But go ahead and use, any other pieces of it that you want. Obviously, make sure it's not specific to us. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Like I said, it may be a little bit confusing at first. Hopefully not, though. If you have questions about it, throw it in the community, and I'll be happy to answer for you guys. All right. We'll see you in the next one.